Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
Kayak Bass Nation is presented by Dugout Bait and Tackle. Go to dugoutfishing.com to find everything you need for your next kayak bass fishing tournament.
Hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego.
Also sponsored by Revo Sunglasses. Go to revo.com, use code KBN25 to save 25% off your next order. Revo, best lenses on earth. Also sponsored by Western Sun Vodka. Go to westernsundistillery.com and use the bottle finder to find a bottle near you.
Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. Happy Monday to you. We are fresh off Lake Dardanelle, man. Ryan and I both fished at Lake Dardanelle. Wore out from the weekend. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing?
Boy, I'm sore. I got a lot of problems I got to work through.
Yeah, man. Can you believe it? That was the finale of the season for the BOS. It's in the books.
For some of our careers, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That was painful.
Yeah, hell of a weekend. We got Francis Tran in here. We've got the kid, Little Boom Boom. Is that what they call him? Or no?
I don't know. I was going to ask him if he had a cool nickname yet. I don't know. I hadn't heard that yet.
Yeah, they're coming in after their epic finish there. They tied and went to the Big Bass tiebreaker. We're going to have some fun talking to those guys about how it all went down. And of course, we like to break down our own weekends or the week that was and any news that might have broke out before we get them in. So we'll do that now. Thanks everybody for watching. Wherever you're watching from, please share this around. If you're on YouTube and have the ability to share it in the community tab there, do that. If you're on Facebook, just hit the little share button. It's free, don't cost you nothing, but it helps us a lot. We appreciate you. And if you're listening on the audio podcast later, we appreciate you guys more than you know. That just keeps growing and growing and growing, so we appreciate y'all. But
I don't even know how the YouTube stuff works. I need to look into that because a lot of people are watching via YouTube nowadays, and I don't even know how to converse with them about it. That's how Steve-O's watching it.
Yeah, we have YouTube now has a community tab where you can actually make posts.
Really?
Yeah. If you have 500 subs or more, you can make posts and post polls and do all kinds of wild stuff.
Really?
It's a brave new world over there. Right?
Okay.
But yeah, we got folks in the comments from YouTube and Facebook already, so appreciate y'all. But yeah, Ryan and I got to hang out for not one final time, maybe the final time this year. I don't know.
Hey, come on. The final time? That's
this
rough.
year. This year. Are you going to Pickwick for the bass?
I'm going to go to Pickwick.
So we're going to hang out at Pickwick too. So not there. But we got to fish the event this weekend. You want to break down how your event went, man? I know there's some stuff we might not want to touch on.
Probably be a short conversation on this one. I tried to find some stuff away from a lot of people. Like I tried to go way up the river. I found a couple good bites, but I didn't know numbers wise if it was going to be there. And sure enough, man, I had there were two other anglers that were in the area. One guy stopped on like the school of spotted bass, which I thought would be good for a limit. And he was fishing those. So I went like 2 miles up the river and there was another dude sitting there. He didn't catch anything. So once he left, I caught 3 just like back to back to back off the same cast. And I was like, oh, I'm in good shape now. Took an hour to catch the 4th. And then I couldn't get bit again. I lost one wrapped around a tree. Went way down to the spotted bass area, couldn't get bit there, went 2.5 miles up this creek, throwing at everything and could not get a bite. Came up one fish short. Covered a lot of water day 2 after you were so kind to let me come fish your quick limit spot where I got 0 fish out of. I got pissed off, loaded up, covered 16 miles running a creek and caught my 5 on day 2. But that day one, I think that day one fish is going to be a very expensive little deal left on the table there.
Yeah, might haunt you. For what Ryan's talking about there, my guaranteed limit, I'll talk about my event real quick. So day one, I had found the spot that had a lot of bait and a lot of fish on it. And day one, I had a limit, 30 minutes. It wasn't a big limit, but quick one nonetheless. I left that area after fishing it for about 45 minutes and went looking for bigger bites where I got them in practice. But I figured there'd be plenty of fish there on day two to get another limit quickly. I knew Ryan needed a limit to up his TOC chances. I said, come on with me, man. We'll fish together and you can have it and I'll put you on the juice, Dardanelle juice. And how long do we fish that? An hour or 2 hours?
2 hours, man. 2 hours.
Between the both of us, I think I had a 12 and a quarter inch fish to show for it there. So yeah,
it was stingy. It was a little stingy.
I'll let you down. But after you left, I did limit out there doing something completely different. So that's how it goes, right?
Yeah, I mean, they say you can't catch somebody else's fish, but he wasn't catching his own fish either, so I didn't really feel that bad about it. But it was fine. It all ended up working out like it was supposed to. In hindsight, I probably won't try to fish 7 million events next year, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, the points are going to come out for the TOC pretty soon. We got our fingers and toes crossed that Ryan makes it in. I know there's a lot of folks right on the cut line, so we'll see. We're hoping.
The math ain't looking good on this one. I'll say that.
Yeah, but we got to see a lot of our friends there at the finale. We played a little cornhole there at the captain's meeting that may or may not have pissed off AJ. I don't know.
No, we were far enough back. We were 150 yards back.
Yeah, got to meet some folks. I see Levi Schneider in the comments. He came by before the meeting started, hooked him up with some Revo gear. Corey Hopper, same thing. Owed him some gear from some prior commitments on some comments and shows, so hooked them up. Saw some other folks, got to hang out with them. It was a fun time overall, I thought. Oh
yeah, we had a blast. I mean, just doing the dinners and hanging out and getting to have some face-to-face conversations always good. You get to see some guys from, especially in Arkansas, it usually pulls like the Texas, Oklahoma crowd into. So a lot of faces that you might not run into out here on the east side of the country.
Yeah, and that did set a record for the largest tournament ever in Arkansas. So we appreciate coming back one more time. We don't know what they're going to do next year or after that, but we appreciate them coming back one more time to Dart.
Shout out to Jeff Isham for bringing me this new strawberry bottle of Western Sun. It's delicious. I've got it poured in a little sun drop right now. Pretty solid.
Western Sun debuted that not long ago. With that said, let's talk about our sponsors before we start getting these folks in here. Western Sun, new strawberry flavor, out and about for football season. There you go. Ryan gives it 2 thumbs up. And did you see the post about the Revos from Corey Racer?
Yeah, I shared it.
Yeah, that's right. So Corey won the Revos. He was blown away by the quality. We appreciate Revo sponsoring the podcast and helping us do those giveaways every month. It was a hot mother at Dardanelle and bright and sunny all day every day, so those Revos came in handy.
That was rough, man. 100 degrees in September is no time to be fishing.
No.
I don't care where you're at.
Yeah, we got Dugout Bait and Tackle there. We actually saw a Dugout T-shirt walking through the hotel lobby, didn't we?
Throwback. Yeah, that was one of the old school Dugout tees. One of the Carson Newman kids was out there sporting his mullet, chasing those Dardanelle fishes.
I think he thought that it was after seeing Edwin do his thing, it was easy pickings to come win some money at these.
Well, apparently the youth of tomorrow seems to be doing all right against the old folks home here.
Yeah, we're going to get into the keys though. I think the kid is obviously a really good angler, but there's something else. There's some magic juice that you have to do on Dardanelle to win. Apparently, like 3 years in a row, it has proven out itself. So we'll talk about that when we get him in here. A few things to talk about at the event besides just our events. The catalytic converter deal.
Dude, what
Mr.
the
Champion.
hell, man?
Yeah, Mr. Champion got sniped right there at the ramp.
So we talked about it last week on the show about, people running around cutting cats off. And was it the last day of pre-fishing? It was Friday, wasn't it? Yeah, like broad daylight next to a baseball field. Like, it seems like it would be an unlikely place to have your catalytic converter cut off. But they cut his, I guess, like his transmission lines, oil return, all kinds of stuff. So Ron's truck was laid up in the shop. He was pushing that U-Haul around. And
then we found out downtown Dardanelle is not a fan of kayaks sticking out of truck beds in parking lot.
Oh yeah, we saw a dude get towed. He had like an Ascend or something hanging out the back. That's probably why they towed it. But they towed his truck downtown Dardanelle.
And then there's one more thing we wanted to touch on. I think, I don't know. Do we want to bring up this breaking news that we might have found out about?
Anybody that paid a membership qualifies?
Oh yeah, well that's not really breaking news. That just needs to turn into a telethon.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
Yeah, I don't know what they're. But rumors of the ditch digging. What do you think about that, man? If that ends up being true.
I mean,
For people who know what I'm talking about, there's rumors flying that somebody dug a ditch to access some backwater on Dardanelle. And I don't want to say names until it's confirmed, but
I think that the way the rules are currently written on several fronts, there's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of gray areas in launching. There's a lot of gray areas in, landscape modification. This isn't the first time that there's been a ditch dug in a tournament.
You sound like a government contractor.
You have to sound like a government contractor. But the last time a ditch got dug, I gave some fairly extreme examples that just because it's not in the rules, like if I want to spend 10 grand to rent a backhoe and dig a trench to Pawpaw's pond, technically that's not against the rules the way they're written right now. So I think there needs to be some tightening up on the verbiage, stuff like that. Again, we talk about this stuff, like just be careful on what you do. Like think about who's watching and what the long-term repercussions might be on some stuff. Like again, all rumors, but I don't recommend ditch digging. Yeah. I'll say that.
We'll follow that story and bring you updates the next time we have a show. We got a huge show next week. We'll talk about it at the end of this one, what we're going to have next week. But tonight, it's all about the top 2 finishers that slugged it out. Let's stop running our mouths and get them in here. What do you say, man?
Let's do it.
All right. Bang, bang. Oh, he went and got a hat. Francis Tran, what's up, man?
What's going on?
That's what I was expecting, Franny. That's what I'm talking about right there.
All right.
And got the
the kid, Jackson Roumbanis, the champ. What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. How are y'all doing?
Yeah. You got money falling out of your pockets over there?
That's what I was going to say. You spent all that money yet?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet.
Okay.
Did you take that big check to the bank yet?
No, not yet. But when I get in, I will.
Who you got off camera there with you? You got somebody lingering right there off camera. I see his shoulder. Oh,
that's the boss sneaking in there.
The boss. No, it's all right. It's all right.
Busted.
It's feeding them lines, Ryan. It's feeding them lines over there.
I like it.
Yeah, but hey, congrats to both of y'all. What an event. What a finish you guys had with the tiebreaker going down there. So congrats to both of you. Thanks for taking the time tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
That was definitely a nail biter. As you guys saw, my boy Jordan Marshall, he had made some late day calls, and Jordan's a very optimistic young man. So he's I could tell by the sound in his voice. He's like, he's done. So he's like, I jumped the kid. Well, then I'm like, all right, that's awesome. Well, then how anglers talk on the way to weigh in. Somebody's like, I heard Francis has got a bag, and I was like, man, come on now. And so I text Francis. I was like, you sitting on something? And he's like, I got enough to make it interesting. Like, super vague. I got enough to make it interesting. He's like, I hope it's enough to get me on KBN. And I was like, either way, you coming on KBN. And nobody mentioned any late day Jackson calls. So when they announced Marshall third, I was like, uh-oh. A tie is insane, though, on that fishery. For as tough as it was fishing, for both of you guys to nail the exact number is pretty rare, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think one of our Arkansas guys, James Haberly, earlier in the week predicted 165 for the winning total. So
did he?
Yeah, hats off to James. I think he had the big bass. He was off on half an inch on the big bass. But
what was big bass?
I don't know.
Nobody wins anything here, Francis. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no Revo sunglasses or anything?
Not tonight.
Man, come on. Why are you
got money?
Everything?
Y'all need to buy a pair each. Look at that money you got.
Exactly.
Jeez. But yeah, I don't know which way we want to go first. We want to go with the champ first because he's got an intriguing story with.
Let's go with how the champ started. How he even got into this event. How did you end up fishing this? I heard a rumor before we went out that your dad was going to try to fish it, maybe. And then he couldn't stay out of the bass boat long enough, so he didn't get to fish it. Is that correct?
Well, I don't think he was ever planning on fishing this.
Okay, all right. So he picked you up front. Yeah. He said, "Boy, you're gonna do this."
Well, no, he didn't even do that. Drew Gregory, he pretty much hit me up on Instagram one day and was like, "How would you like to fish a kayak tournament?"
Oh,
and
okay.
At the time, I was like, yeah, I'd love to fish it, knowing nothing about kayak fishing. It was just
Google's kayak tournament.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, honestly, I didn't expect to fish and do well. I mean, it was crazy me even just going out there by myself in a kayak. I just thought that was amazing. Let
And you
alone
hadn't been in a
get us-
kayak before, right? Like
I've
I
never
heard
been.
your interview. Like Thursday was the first time you had been in a fishing
Yeah,
kayak.
Thursday I went out in the kayak, the shoalie we got for maybe 2 hours. No, maybe 2.5 hours. And that was all the kayak fishing experience I've had at that point.
That's great. I hope you all feel good.
Everybody
people at
watching
home.
this is going to sell their boats.
Yeah, sell all your gear. It's
You're
over.
telling me I had to stand on stage next to him, and it was just like getting stabbed constantly. I was like, oh my goodness. He was like 15 years old, stabbed. It was like first time in kayak stab. I was like, oh my goodness.
Paddle to shoalie, stab.
Yeah.
We're sitting out there with live scope and motors and crap hanging off everywhere.
Yeah.
This kid's got like the Walmart PFD rolls out there, like bam, 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 just nails it. $8,000. See y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy pickings.
Man, that's
Tell us this, Jackson. What's your fishing background? Obviously, you're not a new
Oh.
fisherman, so tell us a little bit of
I mean,
that.
I fished out of a bass boat my whole life, pretty much, and with my dad being a professional fisherman, fishing is just something that comes. I mean, it just something I do constantly, and I mean, I fished a lot of like youth tournaments before, and a couple of bigger events. Nothing at this size ever. I mean, like a couple club championships and tournaments of that matter, but nothing that can compare to this. It's crazy.
How was it? You never been in a kayak, obviously, so you never been in a kayak fishing tournament. How was it taking photos? You know, you're not live welling them. You're having to take photos on a board. Did you have any trouble with that?
Well, AJ helped me out, and he's like, just look, like if you need help, just look at the pictures, like of old kayak. And I've talked to a bunch of other kayak fishermen. They're all like, just look at old pictures people take, and just kind of see where your hand needs to be on the board, and how to take a good kayak, like put the nose up forward. And I mean, that was all brand new to me because I'm used to just throwing them in the well and culling them out and then going by pounds and ounces rather than going by inches, and releasing them right there on the spot.
Drew said, he's like, I still can't, and your dad did too. He's like, I still can't believe he won this. I can believe that you caught the fish to win it. I'm surprised that you were able to measure them correctly and get them submitted and not have them jump out. Like usually when you start kayak fishing, you got about 6 months that's just a complete disaster trying to measure fish every time you go out. You'll cover your identifier, you got it flipped wrong, the fish flops off the board. Like to do everything right in a big tournament setting, that's the super impressive part. I don't doubt at all that you can catch fish. I think you probably were born with that ability, but being able to pull it off on tournament day is huge.
Well, thank you.
And against the field that you fished against too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may not mean much to
Well said.
you, but turns out we do this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is being new to this and being coming from the bass boat side. He didn't know who any of these dudes were. He didn't know all these guys that have won a lot of.
It's probably
tournaments,
it's probably better that way.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know half y'all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, but yeah, unbelievable story, man. And for those that hadn't figured out and put 2 and 2 together with the last name there, his dad was off camera. Fred Roumbanis right there off camera. That is his dad. So obviously he's been around fishing his whole life, but to pull it off, like Ryan said, is amazing to put it all together on game day like that. So
Let's bounce to Francis. And Francis, you break down your tournament. You said you were in town for a while. You got to pre-fish, you got to practice, and you had a little bit of history with Dardanelle. So you kind of had some sort of ballpark idea of what you were going to try to do.
Yeah. So I've been fishing Dardanelle ever since it was there in 2020. And I came across this special area the first time around. And I'm fairly new to fishing. I started bass fishing in 2020. So I was still trying to figure out how to do everything. I came from saltwater fishing, so I do have a fishing background. But it's funny, like a lot of people, at least I thought, like, oh, I redfish, trout fish, this is going to be easy. Those green fish is light work, So my first tournament was at Lake Fork in 2020, and I caught 2 fish in 4 days of fishing, and it was so humbling. But anyways, I found that area just doing a lot of map research and stuff, and I checked it out. and I fished the area, and I was one fish away on day 2 from making the top 10. And then I was like, all right, that's not going to happen again. And they came back to Dardanelle, and I was like, all right, let's go. But then kind of word got out, and there was a few more people there, and my mental game might not have been that strong, but I finished like top, I think, 7th the following year. And then this year I came, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do it this year. And it just happened for me there.
And then your plan was foiled by a 15-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah. It was
This
funny
is
too,
my
because,
year.
Like tournament day, I don't look at the standings at all when I'm fishing, pretty much. And my wife calls me, and I knew about Jackson. Jackson, I don't know if you know, but everyone was talking about you. And they were like, yeah, Jackson, he's killing it, and he's probably going to win the tournament and all stuff. And I was like, not today, Jackson. Not today.
Not today, buddy.
And but anyways, I had a limit at 9 o'clock, and I was like, all right, it's got a call and stuff. But my wife called me like around 10 or 11, and she was like, hey, what you doing? And I was like, I got about this much. And she kind of crunched the numbers for me, and she told me, and I was like, dang, who's in first? And it was like, oh, Jackson is. And I was like, dang, what's he got? And she was like 162 or 163 and a quarter. And I was like, okay. And then later she calls me a few hours later, and she says, what you got? And I was like, I think I got a winning bag right now. I got 165. And then because like I was like, no way Jackson's holding fish until the end of the day. This is his first tournament. And I was like,
he doesn't know that trick yet.
Yeah. And so I was like, I don't want to jinx it, but I might have won this thing. And so I was thinking that, but I didn't tell anybody really. I kind of kept it close to my chest. And I was like, this is going to be suspenseful, because I know like everyone's just like, man, this is like a headliner, 15-year-old kid coming into a tournament, never fishing in a kayak and whatnot. And I was like, I'm going to make this thing super suspenseful. So that's what I did. I didn't tell anybody how much I had.
That's rough.
I like that though. I like it when people don't know the drama at the end.
Because typically, I mean, I've been in the room, everyone's whispering to us, like, hey, how much you got? How much you got? How much you got? So everyone already knows when they walk up there. But I might have made some people mad. I don't know, but
you always do, Franny. You always do.
That's what pirates do, man. That's what they do.
That's what pirates do.
They steal from others, right?
That's right.
That's right.
And let me ask you this: your special spot, did you have to dig a ditch to get to it, or did you float in there?
I did not, but I know. I'm not going to spill the juice on it. I'm not going to spill the juice on it. But I know about that spot, and I went there without digging a ditch. So
okay,
if that adds anything to it, I've been there without digging a ditch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've heard
within the rules, with a paddle and a push bowl. I've been there.
All right.
Okay. So it is at certain water levels legally accessible with some work.
Yes. And even within the rules, you can cross dry land as long as you have a paddle and a
buddy.
push bowl.
Don't we know?
Oh,
don't we know, brother?
So,
Jackson's like, what are you guys talking about? The gray area of
yeah.
kayak.
Just don't worry about all that. You just keep doing it the right way.
young fella. And Jackson, the magic sauce we were talking about before we came live to winning these fence on Dardanelle. You probably don't know this, but every year since they've been coming there, you had to be in a kayak paddling it. That's the winner 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
Not the big giant Hobies in old towns with the electronics hanging off the sides like Ryan was talking about. It's somebody paddling a simple kayak. So yeah, you had the magic right from the beginning. You didn't even know it.
That's crazy.
I don't know why Dardanelle hates pedal drives, but it sure does.
Yeah, and I'll tell y'all a story that I know a little inside info on is I talked to Garrett Morgan, buddy of mine that was, leading day one. He paddled on day one and was leading the tournament and switched to a pedal drive on day two and ended up fourth. So there you go. He lost the mojo. He lost the paddle mojo.
He might have said a few words when he was next to me.
I don't think he was super happy on that.
I felt real bad. He was saying a lot of things in right next to me. I was like, oh man.
That's why he has Pancake, because Pancake can't hear all them dirty words. Pancake's a little deaf dog. Pancake doesn't pick up on all that. Jackson, how did your tournament lay out? I mean, obviously you fish all the time, you live there.
Yeah.
Like, did you have a pretty good idea of at least where you were going to go, never being in a kayak before?
Well, to be totally honest, I wasn't sure. I pretty much picked a random spot. I mean, out of all my spots in Dardanelle, because all my spots are everywhere across the lake in a bass boat. You know, you can hit all of them in a tournament. And I'm like, I'm gonna be stuck here because my dad had he coaches my brother's pee wee football, so he had to go coach football on Saturday. So I pretty much got stuck wherever I was gonna fish.
Yeah, and so everyone realizes this. He's 15. He can't drive, so
Yeah.
he's literally stuck. He's literally stuck. He's literally stuck there.
I was stuck there. So I pretty much had, well, I'm not sure, maybe a mile stretch I could go fish around. And I was pretty much stuck and held to that area. I don't want to get too far away. I'm still brand new to a kayak. And it would really suck, you know, to get into a spot that I don't know how to get out of or something crazy. So I pretty much just stayed in the general area of where I was launched at.
That's good stuff.
So you won it from the boat ramp, pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, like, not too far from it.
That's crazy.
Hey, I see Christine in the comments, and I was hearing, you know, everybody saw her giant laceration in her foot, right?
Yeah.
That happened during practice. And tournament morning, I had a bunch of dudes. We were just visiting at the ramp, and they said, yeah, they were staying at the same place with her and G. Said, yeah, she's going to fish right by the ramp. She's going to just stay right there. I said, let me tell you something, y'all. I've known her for a few years. There ain't no way in hell she's going to be right by the ramp. And sure enough, as I was fishing my way down this bank that was miles from a ramp, here she comes pedaling that thing with her foot wrapped up. So well done, Christine. I know the competition would get the best of her.
That's the crazy stuff you do whenever you're trying to win these BOSs. Like anything outside the box, but still in the box. That's what we're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's go through your days, man. How about let's go through day one. Jackson, you were in third after day one. Francis, you were sitting in a comfortable seventh. The leaderboard was pretty stacked. I mean, you had a chance to check all the way down in the 40s if you just had a limit. So it was stacked up. Let's go through your day one. You know, Jackson, you go first. What did you have going on day one?
Day one, I got to my spot and I was fishing a frog right off the bat, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but I guess I didn't realize how hard it was to throw a frog on a kayak. I mean, for me at least. Day two, I made it look a little bit better. But right off the bat, I missed a big fish, like one that would have definitely helped that first morning. And that pretty much made my heart sink. And for about the first hour, I just had that one bite, and it was nothing. And just randomly right next to the boat, I've watched a big school of shad come up and bass crushing on them. They were crushing on them coming out of the creek channel. And I was stoked. I was throwing over there and fish. I think I caught like 7 fish and 7 casts. And
What?
Just something crazy.
That's awesome.
I mean, they like right off the bat, I saw my name on the leaderboard, and that's something new because I haven't fished any events. Like my dad fishes the Bass Pro Tour, and you're constantly seeing where you're at. I've never fished an event where you see where you're at, and when it showed me in first, I'm like, well, that's crazy. And at the time, I also didn't know you could sandbag. That never crossed my mind. I was thinking, upload them out on the spot.
Don't sandbag. Be a good angler. Don't sandbag.
You'll get your pirate hat soon enough, Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
And I pretty much just waited it out all day. Just waited for schoolers to come back, and I spent a lot of time waiting on some fish. I mean, the problem is I felt like I burned a lot of my fish on the first day. I caught, I think like 27 keepers the first day. The only thing is I'd catch like a 13, then I catch like a 13 and a quarter to cull it. And it was like that all day long. And
Ryan's
finally,
going to choke on a strawberry over there.
Boy, that's rough.
All I can say, Jackson, is you're making a lot of people very angry.
I needed to borrow one of those, just one of those, Jackson. I get to see you at the TOC, but that's okay. You have fun down
awesome,
there, buddy.
though.
Yeah. What were you catching those schoolers on, Jackson? You want to reveal that? Is that secret?
Yeah, I mean, I was throwing a topwater, just like spook, lipless. I mean, I caught a couple. I had some blow up on the frog. I'm not gonna say I caught them because that I mean, I did, but yeah, I had a lot more blow-ups than I was able to, catch them on or catch them. Oh gosh, I pretty much threw everything in the boat. Finesse. I changed it up constantly because I wasn't sure at the time. I mean, I caught it was crazy. Pretty much everything I brought, I was able to catch them on.
Hey, let's talk about that. How much did you, being a new kayak angler? Some of us like me, I hoard tackle.
Yeah.
I got 12 rods behind me.
Well,
What'd you bring with you? How many rods?
I
and
brought
stuff
quite
did
a
you bring?
bit. I brought a full tackle box, and brought like a mid-sized tackle box, and that was all I brought. That, and then I brought 4 rods with me: frog rod, top water, just one just I could throw anything on, kind of cranking but more medium action. Then I threw I think it was just a spinning rod in case I was gonna fish finesse, and that's all I brought.
That's smart. That's good. You don't need a ton of stuff, especially kayak fishing. I don't feel like you need a ton of gear. I think you see a lot of people that really overpack on a kayak out there with 12 rods and 48 Plano boxes. That's probably not necessary.
You guys didn't have the same problem, obviously. We can go through your day one as well, Francis, here in a minute. But people in the comments talking about, Chris, if you saw that, people would have done unspeakable things to catch number 5. For a lot of the field, it was fishing really, really, really tough. So was it just area specific, you think? You had to pick the right area with the right structure and fish population there, or what was the deal?
I'm not sure. I mean, I fish this lake, and at all times of the year, it definitely comes down to spots and locations. But right now, the shad are moving up shallow. Those fish are chasing those shad, and I was pretty much just trying to intercept the bass from those big, large, large schools of shad out there. And I don't know if I'd say it's so much area, because right now almost every bay, pocket, creek, everything seemed to be pretty stacked at shad in the morning. Then midday, they'd all kind of go back out towards the main river and channels and the lake down there and the bayou. I just think it was kind of like the right timing more than anything.
Yeah. I like I said on stage, I was there since Sunday, and I made an effort to get up every day, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and kind of simulate a tournament day. And I went out there. Basically, I hit 2 spots every day, so I got a morning every day and I got an evening every day. And the morning bite was definitely better everywhere I went. And in like some areas, I went to Illinois Bayou and I caught a limit in like 30 minutes. Oh, wow. Like just working all the lily pads and stuff. And so I knew I could get bit in the morning, but whenever the sun came up and it got hot, I think all the fish either tucked up real deep or they just dropped down. And then it was just basically junk fishing for me everywhere on the lake. So I just turned to what I already knew. Much.
Unreal.
Clearly that paid off.
Yeah. And shout out to a few people from day one. Our boy, fellow podcaster, Armando Sola, made a hell of a run at it on
heck yeah, man. I was proud of Armando. 1. That was a good bag.
Yeah, he was up there, and he came back swinging on day 2. Tried to make a run at it then, just didn't quite came up a little short of the top 10. But proud of him for his effort, and a few other guys pushed their way to the top. Garrett obviously finishing 4th, and Jordan 3rd on the final day. But so going into day 2, were you guys fully confident that fish would still be there? Jackson, did you think they'd still be there? Or did you think you wore them out too much? Did you go back to the same spot?
I went to the same spot or that same area. I mean, just kind of fishing all around. But I mean, I pretty much hovered to like a few main, like I guess, points and a little like patches of lily pads and stuff like that I was fishing, rocks. But I mean, I was confident in my decisions. I mean, I'd never really thought about it at the time. Oh gosh, my fish might leave. And then in the morning, I had that flurry again. I lost a big one right off the bat. And I just same thing on a frog. Messed like just set the hook and just felt some pulled off. But I felt pretty confident in it at the time. And then but I had a very long dry I guess dry to not catching any fish. Almost 3.5 hours of nothing out there. Just no bites at all. No, I didn't see shad. I didn't see anything that I was seeing the first day.
I don't know if I told you about my day 1, but yeah, I got I got to the spot where I wanted to fish, and I was the first one there, kind of set up where I wanted to be, and then people started to show up, and I was like, I'm not going to try to fish around all these people, so I kind of pushed further back, and it was kind of nice because everyone kind of stayed in one area, and then I kind of just fished one area by myself, and then I guess I don't know. I think I had maybe like 8 people in my area at one point on day one, and I knew it was gonna happen. So I had my AirPods in, and I was just listening to music, and I just didn't pay attention to nobody. And people were probably trying to talk to me, and I was just like, I'm gonna ignore everybody, and I just fished, and I had a limit by 9:20, I think, and then I called like maybe 3 or 4 times. I think I only caught. It wasn't a lot of bites, but all the bites I got were pretty decent, and I caught maybe like, I don't know, 10 fish, 12 fish all day.
You talking about day 2 or day 1 on that?
Day 1.
Yeah, okay. And then day 2, you went back to the well,
Yep.
same area?
Yep, same area. Day 2, I think there was 4 people there. That's always the case. There's always some people that don't show up, and I did the same thing. It was weird though, because like I felt like day 2, the people in the area got more to me than day 1, where there's more people, because one person got one area, and they kind of fished real slow, so they kind of cut down the area a lot. And I just kind of was like, all right, if you're there, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And I still caught fish in those other areas, so I guess I don't know. That's how it is. Like kind of like Jackson's like, the fish are there, and you just got to be patient. So,
did you call on day 2? Because it only shows 5 on Tourney X.
Yeah, I did. I called, but I had like my phone is like full of pictures, and I waited until like 2:00 for me to upload all my pictures, because I was like, if I gotta take the time to upload, then it's taking time from fishing. So I was like, all right.
That's why you did it. That's why you did it. Yeah.
But and then also like, man, midday the bite just like shut down, and I might from like 11 to 2, I might have got like 3 bites.
And you didn't. At no point did you think I should upload my pictures?
Oh no. I know everyone's watching, and I was scrolling down. I'm like, Russ hasn't uploaded, Cody's hasn't uploaded. I was like, I'm just gonna sit down here.
we got a message from Jordan. He was sandbagging too. So everybody was trying, or not everybody, a couple of you were sandbagging.
Oh yeah.
Jackson, I see there on your total, you've got 5 plus 5. So obviously you were doing the same thing as day 1. You were catching them and submitting them and catching them, submitting them.
Yeah.
When was your last cull of the day on day 2 to push you up?
Just a couple minutes before the tournament ended. I'm not sure. I ended up getting a penalty on one of my fish because I noticed the mouth was a tad bit cracked, and that was devastating at the very end. I realized had me up a little bit more than I was I was hoping to be at. Then I got moved down. I don't know, was it a half an inch or something for cracked mouth?
Yep.
You know what's funny is, sorry.
Yeah, you can go.
When I submitted all my fish, I guess it was so hot outside, I deducted half an inch from 2 of my fish.
Really?
Or like I just submitted them, and luckily whoever was grading the fish gave it back to me. I was like,
what? My
15 and a quarter, I submitted as a 15, and like one of my other fish, I submitted it a quarter less, and I was like,
Francis just rounding down the whole numbers.
Man.
I was just like, I don't want to win.
Apparently not.
I like second place.
Yeah. So go back to what you're saying, Jackson, about that last one.
Yeah, I had the penalty on that fish, and that was kind of devastating. I don't know how much time left. It had to be in the I don't even know if it was in the teens of minutes left. Right there at the very end, caught one. I don't know, just maybe 5-10 minutes left in the tournament. It ended up being like a 15 and 3 or 15 and 3/4, 15 and a half, whatever it was. And that was able to just push one of my other fish right down another 14-incher down, and kicked me up there in the top spot. And whenever I found out people could sandbag, like they turned off the things at 2, that really I got to my head. I'm like, oh gosh, I wonder how many people are doing that. I didn't think of that at all. I was just, I'm gonna submit them right there on the spot so I don't forget. And I'm thinking, and that got to my head, and right there at the very end, I just somehow pulled it through and was able to catch that last fish to move me back up.
Was your dad out there watching? Like, did he have his boat out there
yes,
watching?
they were on a. They our buddy and my dad, they went on. I guess we had a couple of buddies out there, and they watched. They stayed way back, and just kind of watched, took pictures of us, and took pictures of me out there, and that was really cool. But that also gets to my head a little bit. I mean, it was cool to see him out there, but then I'm constantly thinking, I gotta catch a fish to show them to, show them I know what I'm doing, kind of. And it just, I was such a total mess, train wreck out there. I had a fish flop off the board, probably 16.5 incher the first day. And I constantly, that haunted me too, because I think I have like a 16 and a quarter, or, I don't know, I might have like a 16 incher that I could have culled that out with. And that kind of haunted me for a while. But, and then yesterday I lost a fish, and I was thinking, dang, I think we had the camera boat on me and it filmed me. I don't know, just a little extra pressure. I ended up having one on the frog. It pulled the kayak into the lily pads, just like clear, ripped me through there. And it came off. I mean, it was a train wreck out there. And I was kind of like, I don't know, I was a little embarrassed at the moment. Oh, dang, all these people just watched me. They came out here. But, I mean, it was cool to see him out there. I love the sport.
Yeah, nothing will either kill the bite or make something crazy happen like a camera boat. I'm sure your dad's very familiar with that. Like if anything wild's going to go down, it's when the camera boat's there for sure.
It's when the camera boat's on them.
Earlier, Mark's Big Worm, Mark Cisneros, the
I
cameraman.
like how you just switched that off. Like I ain't even going to pronounce it. Big Worm.
Yeah, Big Worm. My man, Mark, the cameraman. He said that it was cool to see you having fun in front of the camera boat. Were you having a blast? I know you said it was a train wreck. Were you having fun?
I was having a blast. I mean, I think whenever the boat came up there, immediately, like first cast, catching one, I'm like, oh, this is a good luck, Camera boat came up on me, good luck. And I think I went maybe another 45 minutes without a bite. And I'm over there, I'm like, hey guys, I kind of know what I'm doing. And then, boom, just that little flurry came up right next to the boat and caught 3 immediately. I think they all pulled.
Was the camera boat there for the flurry?
It was there for the flurry. I mean, they weren't big by any means, but they were all like 15-inch. Well, I think that's 14 and a half.
I think that's all big for Dardanelle. I think anything over 10 inches is big for Dardanelle.
And I fished out here in a boat, like all spring when the best time of fishing happens. And I ended up having my biggest bag on Saturday, like of the full year out here.
Why is it
off for pounds?
And your dad can weigh in on this. What is it? Why are there so many little fish in Dardanelle? Where they have to have there's got to be a mama out there somewhere, right?
Hey guys, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it was his show. I didn't want to.
No. You're welcome here.
But yeah, no, we actually, a couple years ago, we had some floods that really kind of devastated, pushed out a lot of the grass. I think it kind of wiped out a lot of the population too. They're just now starting to come back this spring. I'd get into some of these backwaters where you put a bass boat. Now, where you guys are going with kayaks, obviously, but where they spawn, and we had a number of 13 and 3/4, not even quite the keeper size bass. And I was loving it because I'm like, these fish are going to not get moved this, for a while during the spring. They're going to, flourish. So we've had a great spawn the last couple of years. I give it a couple more years, they're going to be back. We've got plenty of bait, obviously. There's tons of that. And if you start running the main river, it's probably a lot harder to just not access with a kayak to actually see what's on the main river. But there's a lot of milfoil starting to grow. And, and I know Jack really wanted to run some other stuff, but, I dropped him off that first day, and I was like, dude, you can't go to the main river. You're stuck. Like, this is – I was in Mille Lacs fishing a Bass Pro Tour tournament. I had no idea he even was talking about fishing a tournament this weekend. I wasn't even supposed
Drew
to
in the DMs. Drew in the DMs got it.
Yeah, we got it. It's really Drew Gregory that did this for Jack. I mean, he got him hooked up with a kayak. He's wanted one for a long time. He's followed all you guys, and he's Drew just believed in him. I don't know. I think that's amazing, and I got to give him a big shout out, because if Drew didn't bring this kayak down for him just a couple days prior to the event. I mean, obviously he wouldn't have done this, but so sorry, Francis.
Oh no.
Sucker.
Hey, look, what's that?
And Jim Ware for
Jim Ware, for bringing for driving it over. And then he was like, "I'm gonna enter the kayak." I was like, "Okay." At first, I was kind of like, "Man, he's gonna donate, almost $300 to do a kayak tournament or something." I'm like, well, you know what though? What better way? I personally never fished co-angler. I jumped right in the pros when I was younger, and I wanted to see how he'd do. And then when I launched him the first morning, I had a little bit of time before I had to get to football for the football game for my youngest son. So I sat there and watched him, and I didn't see him catch anything. And so I left, and I drove back to the house, and I clicked on the Tourney X app, which is super cool. That is the coolest thing. And he's leading it, and I'm like, okay, he must have punched in the same fish 5 times, screwed up something. And then because it's his first tournament, on there it's got his profile, and it shows the top 4 of his biggest fish ever. Because I didn't really understand how the app worked, and they were all different sizes. I was like, holy smokes, something happened. And after talking to him after day 1, I realized what happened. But I'm super proud. I mean, he's always been a gifted angler. I mean, we went to ICAST last year, and he walked across the pearly gates of the ICAST Center into the pond and caught a 7-pound 13-ouncer, which I think is his personal best. In the pond in front of the big expo. I mean, it's just, we actually have a banquet tomorrow night where he's probably going to be crowned angler of the year in the youth division again.
Well, look at that.
So it's not, he knows what he's doing.
So we got snookered on this deal, is what you're saying.
I'm saying if he gets good at the kayaking thing, here's gonna be a good test. He's in the championship with you. I mean, you guys, he's never been.
He's not in the championship with me.
Hey, I won't even be there because I'll be fishing more. I got a General Tires Team Series event for Major League Fishing, so I won't even be there to support him. Unfortunately, maybe I will be. It depends on the days and eliminations and how it works out, because I'll be in Texas somewhere while he's in Louisiana. So
Caddo will be a lot of fun though. It's a super, super fun lake. You'll enjoy that one a lot.
I can't wait to get out there. Just hearing about it. And a couple weeks ago, I mean, I sort of knew what the Tournament of Champions was. I mean, I still didn't quite realize how big of a tournament that was, and now I mean,
it's like it's what the Bassmaster Classic is, for what 55, 60 years of bass. Like, it is the crown jewel of our sport that we have right now by far.
That's crazy.
That's so awesome. Yeah. When he got down to the last 3 guys, I ate a bug. I was like, I think tears came out of my eyes because I was like, holy smokes, he just made a championship. Like, I just missed my Red Crest, our championship at Molasses.
Dog, tears were coming out of my eyes too.
It was, sorry.
I was like, that's one more spot off the list right there, baby. I'm done.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let the air out of your. I'm gonna let the air out of your bicycle tires down there at Caddo. I'm gonna find you somewhere down there.
He's still gonna be stuck where Mama drops him off.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I talked to Fred for a second at the championship, and he was like, "I don't even know what to say." He just was like,
Are you gonna help him?
Nervous. I was nervous about the thing I knocked over your trophy. I was like,
"Oh yeah, I got second place, and he knocked over my trophy."
Oh man,
terrible about that.
The disrespect, Francis. The disrespect.
I actually didn't see it.
Get that out of here.
Under his breath, he said, "Not today,
You're not
Francis. Not today." That's what he said.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Are you going to help him out down there, Francis? Are you going to help young Jackson out down there on Caddo, since he's got the upper hand on you anyway? You feel like you owe him that?
Hey man, anything you need, man. I'm from Mississippi. It's the state of hospitality, so
that's right.
That what it is?
Man.
Yeah, you ain't heard that. Mississippi's the state of hospitality.
It's a hospitality state.
It is.
Okay.
It is. They don't pave the roads, but they're very hospitable.
Yeah, don't drive through Jackson. Don't drive through Jackson, Mississippi.
Home of
I don't
Tony
know
X,
what they do
of
with
all
our
things.
tax dollars over there.
Yeah, crazy. Unbelievable event, man. I can't believe how it turned out, and I think it's a cool story Jackson's got a great personality. I think he's got a big future in the sport anyway. But we need more young guys in our sport on the kayak side of things. We've got some of the college kids coming up, but there's not a lot of high school age kids making waves in the kayak world right now. So it's cool to see somebody jump in and do it like that.
And I really think the more of these college anglers or just out of college anglers like Ewing and Nolan, Jackson, they're starting to pull in more college guys into fishing the BOS series. And the more influence you get on the college side, they have the high school anglers that remember looking up to them in middle school. So they're watching their social media, they're seeing what they're doing. That's just going to continue that trickle down effect to where you see, I guarantee, just like you have in the bass boat world, you'll be seeing high school kayak teams come about, and that'll just continue to progress, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's something they can just add on. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a whole separate team. They can just throw some kayaks at a high school team, and all of a sudden they can go to some of these kayak events together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yep,
it's
cool
growing.
stuff.
They're getting more and more interest in colleges, coming on with the BOS series right now. So I think you'll really see that in the next couple of years take off and get pretty big.
Yeah. What's your long term, Jackson, for fishing in general? Obviously, do you want to go college fish, go straight pro?
Yeah, college fishing has been a dream of mine for a long time. I'm still not committed anywhere or looking. I'm still, weighing out my options on where to go.
I mean, you're 15, bro. Slow down.
Yeah.
Man.
Shoot, he ought to be signing Hooters NIL deals by now out in Arkansas.
Yeah, John Daly style. Yeah, he's from Russellville, so.
He's from Nashville now. I see that boy about every other week. I don't think he's been back to Russellville. He got clean out of there.
Oh, you getting what's happening there, Jackson? You getting some instruction off camera?
We got a little issue with a battery on our phone, and we got to find an extension cord.
Oh no! Oh my!
So if we lose you, we'll log right back in. I apologize.
We're good. so Francis, obviously, you made the TOC with this top 2 finish.
Mm-hmm.
You been to Caddo before? How you feeling about going to the TOC in Caddo?
Man, I got the whole state of Louisiana rooting for me. I'm gonna get all the secret stuff, so I'm not even worried.
All right, not even worried about it.
No, I'm not even worried.
Do you have friends on the Louisiana Hurricanes?
I will soon.
What is that? Is that WNBA or KFL? What is that?
I think they recruited some Mississippi people. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no telling.
Better be careful. They'll get banned down there.
Yeah, Drew Gregory's now on the Arkansas team, so you never know where people are going to land.
Hey, it's all over, baby. Recruiting is wide open.
I wore this shirt in support of them and us beating the D2 team over the weekend.
But yeah, depending on
Marshall felt bad. He thought he jinxed you hardcore. He's like, I was just messing with Jeff, and then I watched that game, and I was like, dang, that really is going to be the upset.
Oof, man.
Did they get upset? I was there watching the LSU game.
They got upset, all right. Jeff was all upset. They had the Marriott closed down.
Yeah, I was screaming and hollering in my room watching a laptop like a crazy person. But we won. We won the game. We got it done. Waiting on young Jackson to get back. He had to go get extension cord for his phone. What do y'all think? I mean, the season's in the books. Francis, what do you think of the BOS season this year? How many events did you get to fish?
I only fished 3, but I had Susky on my schedule. But then, just in my line of work, I do I invest and I rehab properties and stuff like that. And me living in Starkville, where Mississippi State is, it's a college town. We had a bunch of move-ins in August, so I couldn't make Susky. So everything was for Dardanelle, and I did it.
You're my hero. You're my hero, Francis. I want you to know.
It's gonna suck that you're not there, man. To go find the honky tonk.
You ain't my hero anymore. I'll drop you some pins in Shreveport for entertainment. Yeah.
Earmuffs Jackson. Earmuffs Jackson. He's back. Ryan, hush your mouth.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna tell Francis where the best dinner spots are in Bossier City.
Oh, okay. Appreciate that.
Don't send Jackson and his mom there, Ryan.
No,
for the love of God, do not do that.
No.
Yeah, so TOC's coming. We were talking about the season in general. I'm anxious to see what they're going to do next year. If they're going to keep it the same, grow it a little bit, add some events. We'll see what BOS does.
You hear the rumors. You hear the rumors out there. I think obviously Hobie experienced a lot of growth this year. They maxed out several events. I think there's probably room to change things up a little bit and even it out. I'm not a huge fan of 200 people on any lake kayak fishing. The launches end up really crowded. The spots end up really crowded. So I wouldn't mind seeing, maybe more events. Like I think probably that 125 to 150 spot is kind of the wheelhouse as far as keeping a quality event for the anglers goes. So I'm looking forward to see what they roll out. And I mean, hearing AJ talk, I think it's probably, going to be in the next few weeks that we might see something out of Hobie.
Yeah. And Jackson, what do you think with this success? Obviously, you're going to the TOC. Who knows what's going to happen there? But do we expect to see maybe your name sneak into a few kayak events next year if you can fit them in? Uh-oh. Jackson, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, bud?
Uh-oh. It's at Arkansas Internet, Ryan.
Might be on mute.
I don't know. I hear sounds. I can hear
Oh,
sounds.
that's true.
It's probably just the volume. I bet it's the volume, just the volume on the phone, maybe.
Can you hear us, Jackson? Say something. Blink twice if you're okay.
Hang on, I'll text
yeah.
you.
Sorry, for some reason,
good?
I don't know if the internet went out or something.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
All right, you good.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Well, what I asked you was, with this success, and jumping in like this with this quick success and going to the TOC, do you think you'll try to slide into an event or two next year if you can fit them in a kayak event?
Oh, I will definitely try to hit up a couple events next year. I mean, it's hard not to after going out here and fishing one like this.
Easy money, right? It's easy money.
Yeah, easy money. These boys ain't got a clue what they're doing out here.
Like taking someone's lunch money.
Who needs a part-time job as a high schooler? Just
Boy,
go
that
fish
ain't-
these kayak events.
That ain't happening no more, pal. I'm gonna need to borrow some lunch money this year, Francis.
He's
All right.
changed his name to Food Stamp Lambert.
As long as
Food
there's-
stamp. Oh,
Food
dang.
stamps.
Yeah, I'm voting blue in November, baby. I gotta get my stamps up.
Oh man.
Oh.
Jackson's fading on us over there. He's getting choppy.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him tuned up. We'll get him tuned up. He'll be a pro kayak angler and a pro podcaster in no time. We're gonna keep working with him.
I mean, dude, he has Drew in his corner for sure. I bet you he's gonna be like the next wing next year.
You think so?
I mean,
don't know.
If he can make it to the events.
That's what I was gonna say. We're gonna have to get him some transport.
I don't know when his birthday is, but
You gonna buy him something?
once he starts driving, we'll be in
You
trouble.
gonna get him a gift? We'll all pitch in and get him a hatchback Honda Civic.
Hey, that's a good car.
Just get him nothing with a stealable catalytic converter living where he lives. That's
Oh
what-
man, dude, I was so paranoid the whole time I was at Dardanelle because of that.
We lost him. Hopefully he'll jump back in before we end the show. We've been going almost an hour, so we're not gonna keep it going too much longer anyway. But we appreciate everybody that watched tonight. We got, like I said, a lot of folks on YouTube mixing it up. We got a lot of folks on Facebook as always. We appreciate everybody tuning in and making this fun like we do every week. I want to give Jackson a minute to come back in so we can give him a proper
Yeah,
send
send
off. But if
off.
he doesn't make it, we'll text him or message him.
What
or
are you
whatever.
looking forward to most next year, Francis? Tell us that. What's on your goals sheet?
I'm gonna try to fish a little bit more. That's what I'm looking
Okay.
forward to.
You
I
guys,
get to fish that much this year.
you guys don't have a really good local scene in Mississippi, do you?
I mean, there's a bunch of small clubs, and the thing is, like, I don't know. There's like one club in the north, one club in the central area. Then there's I don't think there's. Oh yeah, there's a southern club, and they're like kind of small, and they kind of it's only just local trails there. I don't think there's like there may be a handful of guys who go fish like national trails, and so I don't know. It's funny. I've only fished one Mississippi lake, I think, or maybe two.
Yeah, isn't that
I
crazy?
don't know that I've ever
That's
fished a
incorrect.
lake in Mississippi, and I'm not being a smart aleck. I don't think I've ever fished a derb in Mississippi before.
I think KBS had one on Barnett years ago before they disbanded.
I do remember that. Yep, you're right.
So
But I've never fished there either.
yeah.
I didn't.
I'm ashamed to say, but yeah, I've only fished like two Mississippi lakes, and otherwise I'm like out of the state fishing just tournaments. So that's the only time I ever go fishing is when I fish tournaments.
I got you.
Same, and I hate it. I really do. I
Yeah.
used to.
There's
I used to
the
really
pleasure out
enjoy.
of it.
I used to enjoy fun fishing, is what they called it. it ain't fun no more. I feel like it's every weekend something crazy.
Jackson, you back? Can you hear us, buddy?
I'm back. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, we lost you there for a minute. I'm like, man, we can't let it end like that with my man getting booted off.
He just dropped the mic. He just dropped the mic and walked off. See y'all.
Yeah, walking down to the bank with his big check.
No,
Dropped
wait.
the mic.
We had to grab a different charger. We're good.
All right. We're good.
We're all working now.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I don't know what do we want to end with, Ryan. I don't know what we want to tell these guys before we let them get out of here.
I mean, obviously, congratulations on both of you for your down to the wire finish. I mean, a tie in an event that size is crazy anyway, but congrats on qualifying for the TOC. Jackson, you're going to get real spoiled just walking right into kayak fishing and going straight to the TOC, but take it all in, man. That's one of that I don't care what level you're at. That's one of the best events that you'll be part of. They treat the anglers great. You get great, a prize bag when you go in. It's all white tablecloths, like super official. They're filming for the outdoor channel the whole time. Like there's camera crews and stuff around. Like it feels like a big deal because it is. So take it all in, man. It's a good one. Congrats.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Francis, I wish I could be there with you, buddy.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, if you uncross them, don't waste it.
Oh yeah.
If 20 people don't show up, I'll be there. How about that?
Geez.
There you go. Yeah, and hats off to both of you. What a finish. And Jackson, I think you got a bright future. You seem like a terrific young man. Good stuff from you. Francis, I don't know how old you are, but you're a terrific young man too. So there you go.
Yeah, dude. When I was on that stage and he was like, "Yeah, I'm 50 years old," I was like, "Damn, I'm 30 years old." That's half my age.
Like I said, you're a terrific young man too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna let you guys slide out of here and get some rest. I know you're both beat, but congrats again, and thanks for coming on the show. And Ryan and I are gonna stay on for a minute because we got a little announcement we're gonna make about next week. But thank you both very much.
Thanks for
Take
having
care,
us.
Francis.
Thank you for this
Jackson,
opportunity.
Fred, thank you for being accommodating and
Thank you,
letting him
guys.
jump on here with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. What a great couple of guests, man. I think that kid's seriously got a bright future ahead.
I mean, I don't think he has a choice. Oh, throw that picture up. Dang. I
yeah.
can't believe we let him get off here without that. Fred sent me this picture earlier.
yeah,
He
leave
was,
your mic on, Fred. Right there.
That was the first baby weighed in on the Bassmaster stage.
Yeah, and then from that to him
Dominating.
catching fish. There we go.
Dominating.
Yeah, we did. We let that slip.
Dang.
Shame on us.
That's all right. That's all right.
So yeah, we want to announce sort of announce our guest for next week. Now,
We can't announce who our guest is.
what it's the
But-
subject matter.
If all of the stars line up, supposedly, and I mean, this is all rumor mill, top secret CIA stuff. We are hoping to have the new leader of the Bassmaster Kayak Series coming on next week. We'll tell you who it is, and he or she, I should say, I guess, will have a special announcement regarding Bassmaster, potentially maybe the championship location. So mark your calendar for next week. You're not going to want to miss this one, I promise.
Bass has hired a guy, and we can confidently say they've hired a kayak guy, can't we, Ryan?
The head hunt is over.
Yeah. So good things there. That's going to be a big show next week. So there we go.
Christina's on one tonight. She's been burning that keyboard up. She's been all over.
It's the painkillers.
It's went straight to her head.
It's got her all jacked up.
That Arkansas River water's got in her brain now.
That's it. She got the monkeypox through her foot.
How many people we have over on YouTube tonight, pal?
I didn't look at the breakdown. Like right now, we've got 40 something on Facebook, and there's still a dozen on YouTube hanging. But they were up in the 20s on YouTube earlier. So
Yeah. So about 60, 70, Todd. We ain't quite to 1 million yet tonight, but we're working on it. We're cutting
we're almost
down.
there. We're almost there. We appreciate everybody everywhere watching. We're getting there. We're getting there, and we'll never fudge the numbers. We'll tell you straight up.
No, we usually just leave them written on the screen so you can see
it.
what the views are.
That's it. But great show, man. A couple great guests. I like those guys a lot. But we're gonna wrap it up. And next week, the mystery man will be revealed, or woman.
Dun, dun,
They-
dun.
They them next week.
They them coming at you hot next week.
Yeah, we gone. See y'all.
Later.